Alright guys, this is DBD. Today we're going to be playing some Final Fantasy XIV. I'm starting a new character. We're starting with the Marauder class. Let's get into it. We're going to be watching all the cutscenes in this. So I've played this game for many years now. I've never actually been through and watched all the cutscenes though. I skipped them all my first few playthroughs. So we're going to try and see if we enjoy this. Let's get into it. Oh, yeah. Alright, we'll be back once we're out of the queue. Alright, here we go, guys. I'm really excited to start this playthrough with you all. Hopefully you're just as excited to watch it.
Here. Here. Feel.
Oh, look at us, we got an armor upgrade. Boy, you all right, lad? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling off the ship got your stomach churning, has it? Don't seem like seasickness. Now that I look at you, it'll be the ether, then I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others, seeing we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of etherites. No need to fret though, you'll soon get used to it. Might as well have been blooming seasickness, ship sleeping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, give myself a breath of fresh air. Limbs of Lamenza's still a fair way off. In case you were wondering, seeing as you're awake and all, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them youngins don't much care for conversation, see? Anywho, Brennan's the name and peddling's my trade. Smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lad, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you're one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Let's see. We're gonna go with power. Power is all, guys. To gain power. Power, as in power to do good, like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right, and all that. Hey, I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft in the adventuring business. Once we make port, you'd best sign yourself up at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join the guild neither. Lends us home to a few, so if you're fancying learning how to swing an axe or even sling a spell, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Whoa! Ship's off the starboard bow, pirate colors. Pirates, bloody hells. Have you no sense? Get below. What in the world's coming to? Pirates firing on a ship flying lemons and colors? Bastards either have a boatload of balls or buggers all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer bark will catch this flightly temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I'd lost mine otherwise. If them pirates gave us the chase, we might be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have us a look, shall we? By the by, is this your first trip to Limsa Lominsa? Well, I'm trying to decide, guys. Do we say it is or no? Because we'll say it is just for the first full playthrough with story and all. Aye, it is. It is. Well then, let this journey itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Limsa Lominsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago that the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilism influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Of course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can change how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with. Like them pirates, she took a fancy to us just now. And if this weren't bad enough, I've heard this a hagging or raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them are the sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. As long last, land ho. Behold Limsa Lominsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limlayan, goddess of navigation.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Longtime Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Limlayan. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
And here where we part ways, son. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares. Then it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for saving me ass earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
And just gives me goosebumps starting this game again. I'm so excited for this series, guys. Hey, you there? Hey, I mean you. This is my district, and I make it my business to know all the scum that washes up in it. An adventurer fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Limsa Lominsa's finest to set you on the right path. Hop to it, lad. I haven't got all day. Welcome to Limsa Lominsa, a bustling city-state filled with scoundrels and brigands, the rough-cut diamond of the Rotano Sea. Please select the control scheme you wish. Alright guys, I'm going to cut off here, and we'll be back after I get all my settings for the HUD and everything fixed. We'll see y'all in a second, and we'll begin questing. Alright guys, I think we're good to go. Let's begin our first quest. Well, it's extremely framed. There we go. Let's remove this focus target from ourselves. Alright, coming to Limsa Lominsa. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Limsa Lominsa, you must first register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore, but adventurers are required to register their presence in the city. And without a bit of local knowledge, you're like to get your throat slit in some piss-stinking alley. So before you do anything else, get yourself over to the Drowning Wench and enroll with the Adventurers Guild. It's not far, just head straight down the street and speak with Greffar. He'll show you how to work that big moving platform we call the Crow's Lift, and that'll take you up to the pub. Once you're there, look for a fellow by the name of Batteron. He's the proprietor of the wench. He might cuss like an ale-sodden sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for wide-eyed newcomers. Like yourself, he'll set you straight. Got all that? Good, now run along, and may the navigator guide you on your journey. Alright, let's go speak to Greffar. Welcome to the Limsa Lominsa. If you're in mind to visit the Drowning Wench, the Crow's Lift will take you there. Alright, that was easy enough. Greetings to you, lad. What'll it be? Ah, but ain't here for a drink, are you? You come with a mind to try her and adventuring, I reckon. Will you find no shortage of work here in Limsa? The name's Batteron, and this most hospitable of ossuaries is the Drowning Wench. 'Tis also the home of the Adventurers Guild. Here in Limsa, that's why we've got a desk, especially for handling guild business. And why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself than wetting the throats of me regulars. Veterans have a neck for finding trouble, see? Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbacks and the kobolds outside the city, the pirates on the inside will get you instead. And if they don't manage, there's always the Gallian Empire to finish the job. Oh, no one knows that they're planning, of course. But if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill the lot of us. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again and you'll see a people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that's happened? Eorzea took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our owns weren't the only thing that got wiped off the face of existence by the thrice-damned bastard of a dragon. It took our bleeding memories too, and no one's been able to explain it in a way as makes an ounce of sense. None of the folks what saw it and lived to tell the tale seem to agree in all the tale actually goes. 'Tis all foggy like recollections from an odd night on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there's one thing we all remember, and that's the group of Ventures will lay down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. Well, I say we remember, truth is, though we actually have forgotten what they did for us, this goddamn calamity spawned memory loss robbed us of their names. It won't even let us picture their damn faces, just like staring at a ghoul flying in front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against a blinding glare. And that's how every bugger describes it. By the way, give or take the odd ghoul. Is this what's got people calling the eras the warrior light? If Limbs is ever going to put this old darkness behind it, it's going to need adventurers to help banish the fear. It's going to need new heroes like the one we lost. Maybe one day you'll be one of them. And that's why why any aid we can give to an adventurer is effort well spent. What say ye, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? Me thanks to ye and to the navigator and all. I knew she steered ye in me for a reason. Oh, but listen to me yattering on like a sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis I night time we got your mark in me book. Put your scroll right there. I'm sorry for these cringe voices, guys. I'm trying to make it entertaining for you. Al the Fortuitous, is it? A fine name it is. Congratulations, you're now an upstanding member of the Adventurers Guild. You there, adventurer. You sailed in on the last ferry, did you not? The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on deck mere before the incident took place. Sending your friends signals, were you? Now hold on just a moment there, officer. You've got the wrong bloke. This fine, upstanding young gent is me dear departed grandma's sister's niece's cousin's closest companion. The lad wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You're surely aware of the recent kidnappings, respectfully. Then we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at a time when the loyalty of even our closest friends is in doubt. Ah, you make a good point there, officer. A very good point, very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open at all times, me and two more often than not. Now, sir, what say ye to a tankard of me finest ale before you return to your duties, eh? Not a wandering down cup of piss like the last time, I should hope. I ain't got the finest idea of what you're talking about, officer. The wench might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Malthior, but that don't mean it won't get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying out to be sat on, so kick off them heavy boots, eh? You'll have to excuse these eager bloody yellow jackets. There's been a spate of kidnapping, see, and they ain't got a clue who's behind them. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone looks vaguely suspicious, which means venturers, visitors, and pretty much every bugger else in this town. Don't take it personal, though. Us Laminians can be an headstrong bunch of bastards. It's just true, but given time will grow on you. Now, where was I? Oh, yay. Welcome to Limbs of Lamenza, where the sea's as green as the faces of me patrons, after a few too many black belly whiskeys. Now take a moment to gather your wits, and we'll get started with learning you the ways of the city. There's our first quest complete, guys. Dun 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 dun. Close to home, Battaron, proprietor of the Drowning Winch, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Right then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks that will help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you need down a floor, then point your nose to the west. You'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an aetheryte, a device where we can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, providing there's an aetheryte where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the Yellow Jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device before you do that, though. Remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you're off. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your adventuring bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the aetheryte. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker than you can say, "Why is me cornpus so light?" Have a word with Swozblade instead. He's the eat of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him the old Octon, and he'll treat you well. For the last of me helpful insights, suggest you meet some fellow axe wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for swinging that eat splitter of yours. If you join their crew, Blathoda at the front desk is one to get you started. Got all that, lad? See into them 3 tasks. Take you on a little jaunt around in the city and help you work out where everything is. Now I best getting on running along, eh? Bugger it. There I got sending you off without telling you, scummit. Crucial. That bloody calamity's made a right mess of me memory, I swear. Well, that or the L any road. While you're out, if you yapping to pass any poor sods what look like they might need your help, consider giving their tale of woe a listen, eh? Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what's interesting opportunities could be lurking out there just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Nania over yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear and see where she's asked to say? Hey, you like to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folks can trust, the jobs will get odder and the rewards more generous. If you'd the time, I'd also seek the advice of the smith here and the wench that lads as bear the title. Some fine advice for them what are just starting out in the profession. And that, my lad, is how you get about becoming a legend among adventurers. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That dialogue is very hard to read with all the cut sentences. Or cut words. Alright, on to the next quest. Well, would you like to look at this? A shiny new adventurer. Listen close, lad. I have some information that might just help put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered about on the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think these might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa Lominsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board. If you know what I mean, how'd the plants end up in the mizzen mast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Scanriel, and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to Aldskiff at the Octon. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. You wish to visit Bulwark Hall below? The closed lift is ready when you are. Crow's lift, guys. I'm just saying, there's a lot of people down here that's gonna see me take this stuff. Am I sure I should be? Well, let's do it anyways. It's gonna lead us straight to the Aetheryte. Yes, I am Old Skift. You have some herbs you wish me to examine. Yes, as you suspected, these are the highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I could not resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Arctic lavender, a common enough export from Linza Lomenza. In fact, those probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son, but not to worry, you've learned a few things. And made a new acquaintance. Well met. Alright, let's touch our Aetheryte, guys. Ah, another adventure. Another novice adventure, eh? Baderon has sent more than a few your kind this way of late. I unsummed them all, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells. Make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of ether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of their name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The Aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about Aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. Can now use return. So I think what we're going to do, instead of going straight to the MSQ, we're going to run up to the Marauders Guild and get our first class quest as well. Oh there, adventurer, curious about the Marauders Guild, are you? Any axe worth swinging needs two hands on the haft, and has the blade what can make short work of a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members trained to use with deceptive swiftness and all too predictable force. Are you interested in hearing more, lad? Then why don't I give you the short version of the guild's founding history, and we can go from there. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. And since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew carpenter to carry an axe on board, aye? It all started with shipbuilding and ship repair. What, am I boring you? As I was saying, any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about ye. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. But since the Galadian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It has been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors, what sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. If mastering the axe is your heart's desire, then you'll find no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over, then let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I have a feeling I'll be seeing more of you soon, lad. You've decided to swing an axe with the Marauders then. Way of the Marauder. Bothotha wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Marauders Guild. Alright then. All that needs doing now is to speak with the Axe Master himself. Sounds simple. I've seen folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of the unnerving glare. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Wearing Zoan's name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lad. Good fortune to you. Let's talk to him, guys.
Yes, I'm with Zoan, Axe Master, they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree. But one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the Marauder is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfly our adversaries. We seek to overwhelm them. A Marauder must be the most powerful, enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt the question has already been put to you by Bothotha, but once more I shall challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild?
We're prepared, guys.
Very well. Your name? Attend me well then. Hal thee. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The past of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will oftentimes be your own. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. You shall wade straightway into combat as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay the bleeding, scurry, and crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Limsa Laminsa. Lost lambs, wolf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature has fallen to your blade.
Alright. Now let's go listen to Swazvlet's explanation. A fine evening to you, sir. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all 4 corners of the world. Frey browsed the stalls until her eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo, but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon? Whatever could it... Ah, my Octant! By the Navigator. I must have left it behind in the winch, along with a week's pay and several bells worth of intoxicated memories. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid. What better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? If it is simple and sturdy adventure and equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each yield you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light on your time is short. If your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher. If not the kindest, I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. Aye, there ye are. I'll enjoy your jaunt round the city, did ye? If you meant to base yourself in limbs of Lamenza, that won't be the last time you'll visit them three places. And now you got some idea of what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You shown a good ear for listening. Lad, stick with old Baderon, and you'll go far. I'm tired of reading like this for this guy. I'm doing it so bad, guys. I'm sorry. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Oh, so we gotta hit level 4 before we can do that for him. Let's go ahead and go do our class quest then. I think we have to go down. No, we don't want to go to their ship. Time to actually kill some things, guys. Do we have any more abilities yet? Oh, where are they at? Level 4, we get Maim. Okay. Once we get stronger in the series, I'm gonna come back and fell cleave all of these. Auto attack coming in clutch. Oh, that's all of our lambs. Let's get some more ladybugs. We got Mame, guys. Woo. Alright, I'm gonna probably cut back to us turning in this quest and grabbing the next one. Alright guys, we're back at Batteron. Let's go ahead and accept our next quest. On to Summerford. Batteron, proprietor of the Drowning Winch, wants you to lend a hand at Summerford Farms. It's one of my favorite areas, guys. I always go here for their training dummies. Still in limbs, are ye? How'd you fancy a trip outside the city walls? I'd like you to visit an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? The owner, Stelwim, is an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew of mostly reformed pirate types, if you can believe that, and has been trying to bring a bit of life back to the fields after the calamity ruined the soil. You mentioned needing another hand or two, and your name sprang to mind. I've got you a glowing recommendation. So make sure you work hard and impress that old bastard. You need direction, the place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zephyr Gate out of the city and follow the road northeast.
You are returned to me a different man. Already your face shows a harder cast, a realization of the slaughter of which you are capable. But there is much training to be done before you will wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strengths, and make of each swing an instinctive act. You shall have this hunting log to aid you in that endeavor. Its pages are marked with opponents suitable for your honing your skills. There are, of course, myriad methods by which you might improve your techniques, but when the way is forward not readily apparent, the log provides a reliable source of challenges. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step toward the mastery of the Marauder way. Implacable, relentless, such must be your momentum on both the practice grounds and the battlefield.
There we go, guys. I'm going to cut to us reaching Summerford Farms. I know it's going to be quite a bit of a run. I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, we've arrived in Summerford. We went ahead and grabbed the Aetheryte, and now we're at Staleworm. We're gonna complete our quest and see where he leads us. We're gonna have to end the episode soon, because we're getting close to 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
You must be the adventurer Batteron promised to send along. How the fortuitous, wasn't it? You honored his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stelward, the old bastard as Batteron likely described me. And this here is my humble orchard. A good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas. And if you're wondering why I employ these skags, well, they used to crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did for our ship like it did for so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. I had to feed myself and my crew somehow, and Admiral Merlwib's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers working, the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to the tending the soil, you see. And unfortunately, the botanists I called in to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where needed.
On to Summerford. We're just gonna take all bronze pieces throughout this way through. I think I'm gonna end up just going and crafting some gear for the character for the playthrough for each 10 levels, so we don't have to worry about gear throughout this playthrough. But alright guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this episode here. We'll definitely be back going through Summerford and all that in the next episode, hopefully getting up to our first dungeon. Thank you guys for tuning in at the beginning, and I'll see you next time.